Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on the video. Chances are if you're here, you're like I was a couple of years ago and you're trying to decide whether or not you want to build a cargo conversion toy hauler or camper, or just go buy one new. If you're trying to decide whether or not to build or buy, you can go to my other video on my channel and look, and I go into details around why I chose to build versus buying. So you can go watch that video. But this video I want to direct towards the people that have already decided or are really close to decided on the fact that they want to build their own. And I want to gear this video towards that. And mainly what I want to talk about is I want to talk about my learnings, both good and bad, of building my own, and then go into the details around the thought process of what you should be thinking about from start to finish, and what I found as the critical or the important items were versus items that I could figure out later. But what I learned is there's some very critical things that you need to lay out from start to finish before you ever start, if you want to make sure that you do it safely and the best that you can do it. Okay, to start off with, I would say that there are three main things that you have to be thinking about before you start. And potentially, in my case, I knew this from experience. I knew part of this from experience. So I took into account some of these before I ever bought my trailer. And I did buy a brand new trailer. So I'm a planner, so I probably had a lot of this laid out before I ever purchased my trailer. So, but I'll go into the three, and you can do it how you're going to do it. I just want to give my advice, and you can do with that what you want. The first thing is weight. You need to know, well, the first thing is weight. I'll go into details about weight next. The second thing I would say is it's very, very important. Seems like common sense to some people, but I don't think everybody thinks about this in detail and makes decisions based off of this all the time. But it's their vehicle's towing capacity. And I'll break that down a little bit more after this. But towing capacity, and then also braking capacity. And then the last thing is, I would say, your list of must-haves. So it would be not good if you spent a bunch of money building a cargo trailer conversion and it was not capable of delivering what your must-haves were before you ever started it. So you should have never bought it and just went and figured out a different route. But that list of must-haves is important. Now to the weight. If you look on the cargo conversion forums and different off-roading forums and all kinds of stuff, Facebook pages, if you want to be criticized like no other, just put something on there about weight, and you can tow this with that, and everybody and their brother will criticize and give their comments and become an expert quickly. I am not pretending to be that, but I'm telling you, you need to do your own research and know as much as you can about your vehicle, what it can tow, what it can't, and all that. The other thing on the weight is not only knowing what your vehicle's towing capacity is, you need to know the vehicle's gross weight, or the gross weight that it can handle. Two different things. And then also the tongue weight is extremely important as well. So a lot of times people think that their vehicle can tow 10, 15,000 pounds. And then when you get down to how could you possibly do that, because your tongue weight's going to be 1,200 pounds, but the tongue weight on the vehicle is only, your actual tongue weight's going to be 1,200 pounds, but the tongue weight on the vehicle can only be 700. Well, there's no way that you can tow that. So there are many guardrails or many stipulations around vehicle towing capacity. So starting out of the gate, my number one advice to you is understand what your vehicle's capabilities are, because you may have to address that before you ever start on trying to build a camper, and do all, start towing it around the country, doing whatever you want to do with it. So that's mainly on the vehicle's towing capacity, weight regarding the vehicle's towing capacity. The other thing is on the trailer. This connects to what I just talked about, but as you start thinking about the size of the trailer, and what all you want to put in it, where it will fit in the trailer, you need to start thinking about weight distribution in the trailer, because you can help with the vehicle's, as long as you're staying under the gross weight and under the towing capacity, but you're heavy on the tongue weight. Well, your layout, or the size of trailer that you're wanting to buy, or what you're wanting to try to decide to build around, that can help with those things if you plan it from the start. And what can help or hurt is where will the vehicle, or where will the side-by-side, the motorcycle, the four-wheelers, whatever, where will that stuff be in the trailer when it's finished? Where will your water tanks be? Where will the bathroom be? Where will the kitchen be? All of that stuff plays a big role in getting your weight correct. The vehicle's towing capacity, I would say, is number one concern. Number two is, as long as you can fit within the vehicle's towing capacity, now where are you putting the weight on your trailer? Because you can create a very, very unsafe situation if you get it wrong. We've all seen the videos of the trailers swaying back and forth wildly before they start crashing into all the cars on the freeway, and you don't want to be one of those people. One of the things I will say, and we can get into this later in more detail, is I knew that I had my stuff close. Luckily, I have a scale nearby that I can go to. It's at a cotton gin nearby, and they, the people there are gracious enough to just let you use the scale if you come up and ask them, and they're not busy, so if it's not during harvest season. But I was able to get mine close, and I knew it was close, but even after I had it built, I still needed to go, practice towing before I jumped in the car and went on a trip. And I was able to know what my water tanks, being empty or full, would do to my tongue weight, to how it pulled down the road and everything. So I know I'm staying on this one for a long time, but weight distribution, vehicles towing capacity, those are the most important things, because if you get those wrong, you will kill people, or you can kill people. And that would be disastrous, and you don't want that, obviously. After you get that worked out, it's important to know what your trailer weight is before you start anything, and then about how much weight you're going to add through your build. And it takes quite a while to figure this out, but you can figure it out. Like, everything that you buy has a weight. So just kind of lay that out, or get a good estimate or a good guesstimate of it. So for my trailer, it's a 18-foot V-nose, so it's 20 foot from the tip of the trailer to the tail, but it's considered an 18-foot V-nose. And it's not an aluminum trailer. It's not a straight axle trailer. So it is built out of steel and aluminum siding, but not aluminum construction. It's got 3/4 inch plywood floors. It's a heavy duty cargo trailer, but empty, brand new. It was 3,300 pounds, and complete empty. So completely finished, bedding, all of my camping supplies in here, groceries, water tanks full, everything. It's 4,700 pounds. So I really didn't cut corners. I was conscious, or weight conscious about some things, and there's probably going to be some things that I go back and redo. But I added 1,400 pounds on my build. I don't know what the average is that people add on builds, but it's probably a good idea to research that, try to figure out what it is, and get a good guesstimate before you start. So that's on your weight, or finishing up the weight. The next thing that I would say that you have to list out is, what are the must-haves? So what do you want? And this is what I touched on at the beginning of the video, because it would be disastrous if you spent all the money and time to build this thing and then it didn't even deliver what you wanted to. So for me, I'll speak for myself. It was that I wanted a basically a camper that I could go to off-roading parks that did or did not have campgrounds. So mine is built to handle either. And I didn't need a lot of amenities. I just wanted a clean, warm, dry, or cool place during the summer to come in after a day of wheeling and take a shower, eat dinner, and watch some TV, Ohio State football, during the fall when we off-road a lot, and a comfortable place to sleep, if I didn't already mention that. But that for me, those were my criticals: bathroom, kitchen, bed. And I take my daughters with me, so it needed to be fairly nice, so that they want to keep going with me, and clean, etc. So the other thing that I want, the other thing is my dimensions of the side-by-side that I haul in here is also, I knew the dimensions, so I knew how much real estate I had to work with. So for me, I needed a 13-foot garage. Mine is wide. It's got portals on it. So I needed the 8.5-foot trailer, the wide trailer, not the 7-foot trailer or the 6-foot trailer. So those were barriers for me. And then also I thought about, well, what other vehicle might I get after the one that I have now, or in addition to the one that I have now. So I even thought about that, because I want to be able to use this trailer for a full-size rig, off-roading rig, not just a side-by-side. And I do, the one that I want does fit this footprint. So you have to think about that. And then also, I didn't mention, but how many people do you want to be able to sleep in it? So, and you'll have your own list. But my point here is that you need to have your list of your musts that are going to satisfy what you're doing the build for. Okay, so hopefully those 3 talking points or categories for things that you need to consider during your build you find helpful. And this is the end of this video. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share. Until the next video, thank you.